What's up, guys? Buckle up because you're about to enjoy an excellent Snaps game preview where we tell you everything you need to know about this weekend's game and probably some stuff that you didn't. Enjoy. The South's oldest rivalry, one that looked like it was maybe imperiled, but we're at least getting it this year, and that is Auburn versus Georgia. That's right. Two teams both coming off of very disappointing losses. Two teams, though, currently occupying vastly different success levels, both as a program and both as in terms of how they've played this year. I would say this off the bat for Hugh Freeze. This has been an Auburn team this year that, as we talked about on yesterday's show, has made an art of statistically outplaying their opponent, but still finding ways to lose. Well, lucky for Hugh and company, he'll be able to lose this weekend and sleep tight with the knowledge that his team would have lost this game 10 out of 10 times because they are not going to statistically dominate them at all. I think Georgia, you're catching Georgia at a dangerous
you don't think
time
this is the time
right now.
Would you not rather have Georgia go through a devastating loss?
No.
The emotional roller coaster that occurred in Tuscaloosa, thinking that it may take a couple of days to get over that and you may catch them a little bit sleepy?
Not in the slightest.
Okay.
And you want to know why? I
Why?
will show you right now. And it's with your guy, Kirby Smart. Here is Kirby Smart in the post game after the Alabama game. This is in the locker room. This is a speech.
I have never in my life been more proud of guys competing for 60 minutes of the game over and over and over and over. We said in the second half, we got to win more moments than them. 1 moment short. 1 moment short. But I want every one of you to think about how you feel right now. Think about how you feel right now. Okay? Right now, how you feel. Because how you respond to this tells me everything about who you are. But you know what? We better get better. Team on three. I love every one of you, man. You're fighters. Team on three. Team on three. 1, 2, 3.
Does that sound like a team that's dejected?
Does
that sound like
a coach? I haven't seen that yet.
Sound like a coach that's not ready? No, bro. This is going to be, and it's Auburn's first time leaving Jordan Hare.
Yeah, I know. That's the crazy part too.
They haven't been on the road. Georgia's going to be back at home in Sanford. They're so angry. They want to make a statement. And what better opportunity than a hated rival that is limping along that you can come and just publicly disembowel for all to see? Auburn is absolutely fucked.
Yes, and it's in Athens, not Jordan Hare. I think that's the big thing between last year and this year. Auburn at home last year was plays away from slaying both Georgia and Alabama. I mean, right there, shoulda, coulda, woulda, both of those teams. But we always know things are a little bit, in those rivalry games, a little bit different when they play in that stadium compared to when they play in Tuscaloosa or when they play into Athens. But what is the recipe? Like, what if Auburn is going to somehow beat Georgia this year on the road, between the hedges, what do they need to do? It has to be similar to what I did last season. You have to take the recipe of where was Alabama successful last week? Jalen running the football and then some shots down the field. What did Auburn do well in the game last week? They took some shots against a good Oklahoma defense. That is a quality. I think we can both agree that is a quality Oklahoma defense that held Tennessee pretty well the week before. And Auburn took some shots down the field. So Auburn is improved at the receiving position.
Auburn has better playmakers at receiver. I'll say
100%, 100% better playmakers.
That's their biggest advantage that they have.
Biggest advantage with Lambert Smith and Simmons and Coleman, then Fairweather, the tight end position. It comes down to one position, which unfortunately is the best, most important position in college football. It comes down to Payne Thorne taking care of the football and running it, slowing down the game, running the football, getting first downs, and just not turning it over, which at the end of the day, you can't trust because he's yet to do that this entire season. So, yes, Georgia dominates. Georgia kicks ass. I want to see personally, though, and I think all Georgia fans want to see this too, how does the DBs respond? Because this is a decent challenge. This is a team that is going to want to take some shots.
Yes.
And they got exposed last week. Can you bounce off the mat and come back there and have a big-time game?
So
and if I'm Auburn, I'm going to take some shots too. I'm going to take some shots. I'm going after those DBs.
I mean, you got nothing to lose. You might as well. You're not going to overpower them. Although Georgia's rush defense hasn't maybe been the most dominant this year, but okay, here's the point to expound on a couple of points you just made. In terms of weapons, okay, let's look at, if you look at the SEC right now, you look at yards per catch. Right now, Ryan Williams leading the way, 16 catches for 462. That's 28 yards a catch. Pretty unreal, right? 5 touchdowns. But look right behind him. Who's second? Keandre Lambert-Smith, 17 catches, 415. That's 24 yards a catch and 6 touchdowns. Who's right behind him? Third in the SEC, Cam Coleman, 9 for 212. That's 23 yards a catch. So yes, Auburn has the ability to be explosive. They have the advantage in terms of wide receivers. To expound on your turnover point, though, Auburn is a true to God, unbelievable minus 11 in the turnover department, guys. Minus 11. They average losing the turnover battle by 2.2 turnovers per game. To give you some context, that is dead last in the SEC. Florida at minus 1 per game is second to last. Then Arkansas is minus 0.4 per game. And then already it's dead even. Like there's only 3 teams that even have a negative turnover ratio, and Auburn is just an outlier of bad. So I feel you. Like that is the recipe for Auburn, but it's a recipe that just won't.
It hasn't been proven yet. You've had 5 games where, that's 5 games where
not
it's
on
like,
the road.
Okay, not on the road. So, and in last week's the 1 interception, going back and watching the tape of the Auburn game, there was 2 or 3 plays in the first and second quarter that could have been interceptions too. So it wasn't like he was having this incredible game. Like, there were some big plays on the field that should get fans excited for Auburn's potential going against, once again, a quality defense at Oklahoma. But there were multiple bonehead decisions early on that could have been catastrophic that they got away with. And then bam, all of a sudden the fourth quarter comes along and he finally throws the pick that he's kind of been dangling in front of the Sooners, and then they take it back for a pick 6. So I just think 2 things that need to be done. Georgia has to be better defensively, so you'll get that challenge, and we'll see, can Georgia be better in that area? And then 2,
better defense.
This was kind of like Carson's big game last year versus Auburn. Like he came out there in the 3rd and 4th quarter, had the big moment, which gave Georgia fans the confidence. How does he bounce back a little bit too? Like I want to see what kind of nerves he's at, because hasn't been challenged a lot in his career. The big 2 times he's been challenged really against Alabama have not come out his way.
Yeah.
How does he bounce back from that a week later? Because when they lost to Alabama a year ago, the bounce back was 3-4 weeks later against FSU. And that was just like an FSU team that was, not non-existent at that point with the transfer portal and guys declaring. What does he do a week after losing a football game? How does he respond is something I'm going to keep my eye out, on for as well.
Yeah, especially because his first half last week was god awful.
Yeah.
Second half really awesome until maybe that last throw. What about this though? Like, does Georgia's defense really? I get what you're saying, in that the DBs allow that big play at the end, and that's inexcusable and fucking heartbreaking, and you erased what would have been the greatest comeback in school history without a doubt. But like, I don't know that I feel like Georgia's defense has much to prove. I feel like that's more of a function of Jalen Milroe being otherworldly and Ryan Williams being just an absolute freak. So I like, is it a confidence builder against Lambert, Smith, and Coleman? Yes, but I still think Georgia's defense is going to whoop Auburn's offense's ass this week.
I get it, but I need to see guys on the outside winning and making plays, because that is the weakness of the defense. That is the part of the defense that, go back to Clemson week 1, Cade Klubnik had opportunities to hit big plays down the field, and he missed it. He missed them. He had 3 or 4 where guys got on top of the Georgia's defensive backs, and he underthrew them. Since then, Georgia has not been challenged until Alabama, and then guess what? Those plays were then made by Jalen and company. So I still don't know if Georgia has guys on the outside. I don't. And that should be scary to all fans, knowing that you have Texas, Ole Miss, and Tennessee coming along. So you need confidence builders. I think this is a good confidence builder if you can kind of keep them in check and limit the plays down the field through the air.
That's true. It could be a good confidence builder for sure when you look at the quality of receiver. Here's a random stat, Aaron. I don't have a lot of great talking points to build off of this, but my last thing on Georgia, something I think has to get better. They're only converting offensively. They're only converting 33% of their third downs. That's 14th in the conference. That's very bad. Like, and if you look at the hallmarks of championship teams, it's generally turnovers, third downs, and red zone percentages. So I don't know exactly what's gone so wrong there, but they've got to get that fixed.
And they were so good last year, which is crazy. Last year they were number one. I mean,
if you have an elite quarterback, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
55% last year to.
Is that like a Brock Bowers, Lad McConkey thing?
Yeah, but those guys were out most of the season, so I don't even know.
You're
that.
right.
I think it was.
You're right.
I mean, they were number one at 55%. They're down 32 or 22% from a year ago to 33%.
Shit, that might be the biggest mark against Carson on this year thus far, then, because that's generally a stat that I find very controlled by the level of your quarterback play. Here's something funny. This audio is not. It's not okay. It's just funny audio that I found. I was trying to find the Kirby Smart post game, and I found audio from 2023. Here is Hugh Freeze trying to talk about how long it takes to build up a program and learning that Kirby Smart made a natty in his second year.
I don't know how long it took him. I don't know. What did it take him? 3 years or so to get there, or 4 years? I don't know. Some of y'all could do the research, but his second year, I don't know that that's accurate, but anyway, so he did it pretty fast then. That's pretty impressive. It's even more impressive.
Oh my God. No, I don't know that's accurate. Just flailing. You're just flailing at that point. You thought you had a point. You immediately got proven wrong. Second year, he was straight up like, fuck.
Shit.
Damn it. Well, this point I'm trying to make is cooked. Anyway, so I mean, look, we're in agreement, right? UGA, I think this is a bloodbath. I think I think UGA is better for what happened the other night against Alabama. And I think Auburn's catching them at the exact wrong time. The vibes could not be more different.
Does Hank Brown come into the game? You think he gets that bad? Do we see Hank for Auburn?
Is that that's Auburn's other quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, or no, I mean,
who cares?
Do you mean, does he come in? I'm saying, does he come in because they're losing so badly, or does he come in because Peyton Thorne throws too many picks?
More of the first one, which is going to result in the second one. No, more of the second one is going to, more because Peyton Thorne's playing like shit.
I could see Peyton Thorne play like shit trying to avoid picks at all costs.
Yeah.
I don't know that I actually see him keeping up this crazy turnover rate.
But they have to do what Kentucky did against Georgia. Like, you have to. That's the recipe. We're seeing it from all teams across the country. Like, everyone wants to go so fast, but Georgia doesn't go fast. Kentucky doesn't go fast. Can you just hit that pause a little bit, make it go a little bit slower? I mean, Georgia starts the games off horrendously. First half versus Clemson, first half versus Kentucky, first half versus Alabama. Like, if they can't figure that out and Auburn can slow down the first half and kind of, hold the ball a little bit, like, it could be an interesting game for two quarters.
Okay.
Just saying.
Speed it up.
Just saying.
So what are you picking? So what are you picking then?
Georgia, of course.
Yeah, to smash.
What's the spread?
I don't know, but I'm taking him to cover blind. Bino with the $2 super chat. Georgia's giving up 170 yards rushing to Alabama and Kentucky. I think Auburn has a chance. That is true. Georgia's rush defense could be a bit better. But guys, sometimes you just don't overthink it sometimes, guys. This is a classic.
Points.
This is a throw the stats out the window. This is a Georgia team that's hungry for blood. They're playing at home. Auburn's leaving Jordan Hare for the first time. It's not happening. I love you, Chris Williams, in the chat. I don't think it's not happening. All right.
Georgia wins. I think Auburn can cover the 20. 24 is a lot of damn points. I think Auburn can cover the points.
Mm-hmm. I'm blind taking Georgia.
I think Georgia wins like 17 to 21 points, somewhere around there.
Oh, well, I'd say that was informative and fun. If you agree, please hit the like button, sub, and we'll see you next time for some more snaps.